Good evening. It's 6 o'clock on Friday, March 24th, 2017. Welcome and thank you for joining us tonight for the English edition of Aura News, where we bring you today's top stories translated into English every weeknight. The Netherlands ambassador to Albania, Ms. van de Weerd, criticized the Constitutional Court today for returning the law on the status of judges and prosecutors, a law she says is the heart of the judicial reform. The ambassador stated her shock at the decision, saying, "I am surprised with the Constitutional Court's decision concerning the law on judges and prosecutors, for which we should get an explanation. This law allows for disciplinary measures to be taken in nepotism or corruption cases, so it's difficult for me to understand why the Constitutional Court is reappealing the law. The law is also for liability of corrupt judges and prosecutors. So again, I cannot understand why this law is being returned, when it is the heart of the judicial reform." The ambassador reiterated that the judicial reform is one of the main criteria for Albania's membership in the European Union. Albania aspires to join the EU, and there are criteria: the fight against corruption and the judicial reform among them. It is important to emphasize that the culture of impunity should come to an end and hard work should begin for a better reputation. Albanian people are ready for a justice system that is accountable, declared Ms. van de Weerd during a public debate in Berat about corruption in public administration, organized by a non-profit organization. The Ad Hoc Commission for electing members to the Supreme Judicial Council and the Prosecution's Judicial Council has been set up. Ombudsman Totazani calls this good news, as the commission lacked a full quorum and was not established in the first meeting. Regarding the vetting process, the Ombudsman believes that the process is moving in the right direction and announced that 40 vetting commission applicants have submitted their full document requirements so far. The Ombudsman also appealed to civil society members to apply for the 2 governing councils of the judiciary in order to give a good example and to progress this important course for the country. President of the Republic Bujar Nishani decreed May 7th as election day for Kavaja's new mayor after the dismissal of Elvis Roshi. Mr. Roshi's mandate was removed by the Central Election Commission following a review at the prosecution's request for violating the decriminalization law. Shortly after the president announced the election date, the chairman of the Democratic Parliamentary Group, Eddie Paloka, declared that the Democratic Party will not participate in the Kavaja elections or in the parliamentary elections on June 18th. Mr. Paloka was determined when declaring that nothing has changed the opposition's stance, that they want the prime minister to resign and accept the establishment of a provisional government, asserting that elections cannot be held without the participation of the opposition. Prime Minister Edi Rama replied to Mr. Paloka, assuring the people that elections will be held regardless of the opposition's decision. The Democratic Party will not participate in the elections in Kavaja. Too bad for the Democratic Party, but its crisis is not and will not be the country's crisis. Elections will be held, justice will be found, wrote the Prime Minister on his social Facebook account. The Central Election Commission is expected to approve the deadline for political parties and coalitions to register their candidates for Kavaja's mayor in the next few days. One of the governmental allies, the chairman of the Party for Justice, Integrity and Unity, Mr. Idrisi, says that there is still time to apply electronic counting for the upcoming parliamentary elections. During a meeting with the youth and his party supporters, the PJIU Chairman said, "A lot is being spoken about the vote, about transparency or electronic counting. I say, let's have non-political vote counters. Let's give citizens an opportunity to count the votes. Let's give those who are not part of a political system an opportunity. Let them be notaries, teachers, or whoever. It's time to do what is called electronic counting, and we can do it. This and everything else is completely possible if there is political will," declared Mr. Idrisi. The PJIU chairman made a surprise proposal asking to change the electoral system to a proportional representation, which would allow each party to decide about coalitions after the elections. Our current electoral system does not allow citizens to have equal access, and it is not transparent. Do you know why Albania is divided into 12 districts? Because we are obligated to enter into coalitions. And for this reason, the Party for Justice, Integrity, and Unity proposes that the parties enter the elections alone and form coalitions after. We propose a national proportional system, said the PJIU Chairman. Recently, Mr. Idrisi has been open about his dissatisfaction with the functioning of the coalition with the Socialist Party, declaring that PJIU has not had even 1% of representation in the coalition. Greece is celebrating its 196th anniversary of independence today. Greek authorities consider the Greek Revolution of 1821 as the greatest sacrifice for the freedom of state and Orthodox belief. A commemoration ceremony was organized by the Greek embassy in Tirana, where Albanian state representatives, clerks, diplomatic bodies, and media representatives were present. The Greek ambassador to our country, Ms. Elena Sarani, gave a speech which in part offered Greece's continued support to Albania's European integration. Greece will support Albania's European integration. We have shown solidarity to our Albanian friends during hard times and good times. Greece has contributed immensely to Albania's economic development, being the greatest foreign investor, declared the Greek ambassador. March 24th is also a special day for the Assembly Speaker, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and the U.S. Ambassador, who all celebrate a shared birthday today. An Aura News journalist managed to wish happy birthday to Ambassador Liu, who was present at the ceremony, though he hesitated to speak to the media. Tirana citizens will have to start buying their plastic bags starting April 2nd after Tirana's mayor signed an agreement with supermarket owners as part of a City Hall initiative to reduce the use of plastic bags. Beginning April 2nd, plastic bags for carrying your groceries will be for sale in supermarkets in an effort to protect the environment. Small plastic bags will cost 3 lek and large bags will cost 5. According to the mayor, discouraging the use of plastic bags will protect the environment. It is very important that we start with this policy to discourage use of plastic bags. The biggest supermarkets have become part of this initiative. I think this is a great way to contribute to a healthier city than the one we have today. Last year, we reduced air pollution in Tirana by 15% thanks to our policies for parking and cleaning. So it's in our hands to keep our city clean. Data shows that 100 tons of plastic bags are generated in Tirana each month. By the end of the year, there are 1,200 tons of plastic bags that go out of our houses. Despite the City Hall's efforts to keep the city clean, plastic bags pollute the city, declared the mayor. That's all for our English edition this evening. Please join us again Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. for your local news in English. My name is Mari, and on behalf of Aura News, thank you and good night.